CEO celebrates worker who sold the family dog after he demanded they return to office. Dude is straight up just getting the honorable mentions regarding, hey, so you can still come into work today, right? Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/iamatotalPOS, and if you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Also, for anybody watching, there is something I would like to address regarding recent events on Twitter involving Illuminati, Blair, who is Illuminati, Illegal Eagle, and unfortunately the members of Sad Milk. If you're already all aware of all the stuff that I'm talking about, that's fine, you don't need to skip. If you want to skip to it, here's the timestamp for that. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Anything that I will be saying has already been stated publicly, so it is public knowledge. There is no altering or coming up with my own information that can be. At this point, I'm just severely disappointed. Missouri man is sentenced to 21 years in prison for shooting a 16-year-old teen 8 times for being gay. Okay, first off, dude, try to unflex those muscles. I can see very clearly that you're trying to flex your traps and look all tough and everything in your mugshot, meanwhile trying a little too hard to look like Squidward after he got hit by the door. You can try looking as tough as you want in your mugshot, that don't nullify the fact that you still got arrested. But also, I'm not the only one feeling like 21 years was a little too short of a sentence. A Kenyan cult leader told followers to starve themselves and at least 21 are dead. At least 21 bodies have been found in southeast Kenya in connection with a cult leader who told his followers to starve themselves and end their children to meet Jesus, local officials say. It's feared the death toll could reach more than 100. Police confirmed on Saturday that at least 21 bodies have been recovered so far from shallow graves in the Shakahola forest near Malindi, a coastal town about 100 kilometers northeast of Mombasa. Many are believed to be children. In one grave, investigators found the bodies of 3 children with their father on one side and their mother on the other side. Another grave contained the bodies of a woman and a girl, both facing each other. All appeared to have died in recent weeks. I saw the word cult leader after reading this. My first thing that thought was, oh yes, religious nuts that have ascended past an ascended religious nut. A Missouri man threatened a grocery store worker with his firearm because the meat department was closed and he wanted a steak. He claims the weapon use was meant to communicate, I need you to help me get a couple of these steaks. I'm not going to hurt you. Oh yes, you know, with the exact same vibe of, I need all of the money in the register. A firearm does not mean I have turned on closed captions so you can understand me more clearly, you dip. If a place is closed, then a place is closed. That don't mean whip out the pew-pew and say that, oh yes, so now it's going to be open on my turn. I'm all for firearm safety and proper use when it comes to certain situations. Stuff like this, though, is very much not a certain situation that is appropriate in any way, shape, or form. And at the same time, there should also be a lot of things that could disqualify you from ever owning a firearm, such as threatening a meat department because you're too late for the day and they happen to be closed. What brain cell made you think for a single second you could walk up to the counter, ask for a steak, and say, no sir, sorry, we're closed? You're open. I think even if you're not fluent in firearm stuff, one of the very first things you should learn and you should know about firearms is to always treat them as loaded, and I can guarantee you somebody like this would be the person to just casually point it at somebody else like it's a joke. There's a reason everybody in the room hits the deck if you turn around real quick holding a rifle, and it's guaranteed the quickest way to get kicked out of any indoor range. My boyfriend's cancer battle was ruining my mental health, so I left him, and now I'm running a marathon in his honor. You know what would have been better to honor him? Staying with him, because, you know, yeah, sure, it might have been bad on your mental health to see your significant other go through something, but I think from his perspective, considering he actually was going through it, to see your significant other say, I'm done, I don't want to deal with you anymore because of it, yeah, no, I get the feeling that might have been a little bit worse. A handler of missing blank police canine is no longer employed, police chief says. So wait, I know one thing about in the past, people have stolen dogs from other people's houses before, but, stealing a canine from the police, and you're also a cop yourself. That's a new one. An autopsy report of a teen who died at the Diamond Ranch Academy in 2022 states she had a curable disease but got no medical attention. Don't you just love it when you say something is wrong but people completely ignore you? What do you want to bet one of the people that she told about her disease said something along the lines of, oh, we'll just walk it off. An unvaccinated French boy, 5, reintroduces measles to Costa Rica while on holiday with his family 5 years after the country eradicated the disease. Oh, do we need to give our kid a little bit of a vaccine before we go to a country where he might be able to do something bad. Oh, no, we'll be fine. Whenever stuff like this happens, I always am more disappointed in the parents, because I know for a fact the parents are the ones that are the reason why the kid did not get vaccinated. Dad videotaped his girlfriend and 10-year-old son. I am having to redact all of that, so it takes away the context, but y'all know exactly where that went. Out of the sense of pride, his lawyer says he is not a cruel person, even though he videotaped his girlfriend and his 10-year-old son doing the thing, a crime the father committed while on parole for similar misconduct, a crime to which he pled guilty. Gonna guess he's gonna be pleading guilty again. Why do people get out of prison and then go right back to doing the same crime that they got in prison for? You know, whenever I see this kind of stuff, stuff like this is exactly why I always recommend that you guys opt in for the security lug if you happen to be buying a car new from the dealer, or if you can find one on the aftermarket, always get a security lug. It's going to have one lug that is different than all the others that you need a special ratchet in order to get that final lug off of. I've pretty much had it on every single one of my vehicles, and I gotta say, it's very, very useful, and it will guarantee that you save a lot of money in the long run, because think about it. It's maybe as $30 to get a set of 4 security lugs, or about $600 or $700 to get new wheels and tires. So just a little PSA, whenever you can, try to look for security lugs, especially if you're in an area where this kind of stuff is fairly common.
Hello, Fresh. Yes, this belongs to 326.
Yes, the caption stated as follows: my girlfriend and I order HelloFresh every week. We did not receive it this time. The neighbor across from us stole our package and then left this note on their door in an attempt to cover it up. Even if it was left at her door, it still counts as our name and apartment number on it. She could have literally pushed it to our door. Don't you just love it when you get stuff delivered to your door, your neighbors see it get delivered to your door, but because you aren't there to pick it up right when it frickin' arrives, they think, oh, don't worry, they're not going to miss it, and you just go and just steal it? Yeah, no, that's totally fantastic. Way to go. Definitely a great foundation for trust among your people that live near you. Did victims in the 737 MAX crash suffer before they died? Boeing lawyers say no. The aerospace giant wants to avoid paying pain and suffering damages to the families of victims aboard Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. The attorneys at Boeing argued in court last month that the families of victims who died in an early 737 MAX crash aren't entitled to pain and suffering damages because there isn't sufficient evidence of pre-impact pain. Hold up, wait, you're trying to say that you're trying to get out of this scot-free by saying, oh yeah, but they didn't feel any pain, they still frickin' died. I think you trying to brush it off the part is like, oh, they didn't feel anything, they still died, you dingus. Fantasist, whose R lies drove 3 men to attempt their self-offing, jailed for 8 years. CCTV reveals the moment the serial liar bought a hammer she used to hit her own face and then claimed she was a victim of an Asian grooming gang. Only getting 8 years is very much not sitting right with me. And you know, it goes to show, like, oh, it's not like making those accusations towards somebody can cause a downward spiral that can get very, very bad. Oh yeah, but it did 3 times now. I'll tell you this right now, downward spiraling depression is not fun. It's not good when your mental state absolutely tanks. Seriously, 3 people do this to themselves, and you only get 8 years in prison? I legitimately feel like it should have been more. Ontario man apologizes for beer virus plane prank.
Oh, you know, it's just a prank, bro. It's nothing bad of it.
The man grounds a flight and ruins vacation plans for over 250 plus people after claiming he had the virus mid-flight for a viral video prank. Ah yes, don't you know, just one of the many people that can just think you can sprinkle a little dash of it's just a prank, bro, and think you can get away scot-free doing anything douchey. Chicago woman falsely claims explosives on a plane after missing the flight out of a Florida airport. The woman had stated that the explosive was in her checked-in luggage that was aboard the plane, airline employees said. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a Chicago woman falsely claimed an explosive was on a plane at a South Florida airport after missing her flight, authorities said. Imagine being late to a flight that you already had a ticket for, and you thought it was a good idea to say, oh yeah, if I don't get on that plane, it's gonna blow up. Last I checked, saying that there's an explosive on a government facility was never a good idea. Next time, maybe just be on time for your flight, you know, because I kind of feel like if you make this claim, you're going to be held longer than the plane. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure an airport is a government facility, but just kind of figured it's a little important. Person using a laser pointer causes a med-flight pilot eye injury and forces the cancellation of flight. A med-flight helicopter ambulance was forced to abandon a mission to pick up a crash victim in Columbia County on Tuesday evening after someone shined a laser at the helicopter, injuring its pilot and forcing it to abandon its flight. A helicopter ambulance canceled a flight to pick up a crash victim in Columbia County early on Tuesday evening after someone shined a laser at the aircraft, injuring the pilot and forcing its crew to abort the mission. Please, for the love of God, do not mess with anything in the air, especially ambulances. An air ambulance is very much something you should not screw around with. Stuff like this is why laser pointers, especially high-grid or high-quality laser pointers, are banned in certain areas. It's because you get doofuses like this that think, oh, hey, yeah, this is kind of cool. I'm just gonna shot this up at the thing. Oh, look, it's doing a trick. It's doing a trick. And yeah, now he has to come down because he can't fly properly in a multi-ton vehicle in the air. Okay, this part I'm having recorded after I've done the whole outro, like the whole thank you for watching, all this kind of stuff, but it's something I very much wanted to bring into light because it is a fairly recent topic, and it involves the people that are actually the reason I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Now, if you're familiar with my type of videos, you're most likely also familiar with people like The Click, One Topic, Wonderstruck, and Oz. But also, Blair, who you also know as Illuminati. And unfortunately right now, I regret having originally listed Blair as one of those inspirations for me to get into my videos. The other guys, perfectly fine. You guys are perfectly nice. Blair, I'm disappointed. I think one of the first things that started all of the drama with Illuminati over the past week was trying to claim copyright to Legal Eagle, who is a YouTube lawyer. And this claim was over an editing style that's been a very publicly used style for such a long time, actually, long before YouTube was even a thing. And Blair's response after being debunked on it all was to, in fact, delete the tweet. And there have been countless copyrights in the past with a lot of other people. People do copyright things all the time and everything, but the one thing I really wanted to bring into light was actually what happened with Sad Milk as of this past week. Now, like I've already stated, I am not going to be trying to suddenly come up with my own information. I don't have any more information to give other than what has already been public knowledge. Oz, Click, One Topic, and Wonder all coming forward saying that Blair was, I guess what the only proper words I can say on YouTube were a bully among a lot of other things, is very much disappointing, and Blair's response being to just be completely silent on Twitter. I can still see that she's liking stuff on her Twitter account, so she does get online. She's just blatantly ignoring everything. This isn't something that simply is going to be brushed under the rug if you ignore it long enough. Everybody coming forward about this and you just thinking that you can just ignore it and that be your sense of accountability is very much not mature, and it's not a good decision for you to be doing. And the longer you go without addressing this, the worse it's going to make you look. Every single one of these four guys have said so much on their own individual threads that I honestly feel like it'd be better for people to look up, just quite literally type in Sad Milk on Twitter. It is the top post there. All four of them. If your sense of accountability is to try to ignore it, then that is a very poor sense of accountability and self-respect. I've stated so many times in the past that I hate bullying, and it sucks that one of the people that I looked up to when I started making my videos turned out to be an immense bully. And considering that Blair hasn't come out to say anything, then what am I supposed to believe outside of what everybody is saying that is exactly the same thing? This is very much not a portion of a video I was ever thinking that I would have to cover, but considering the scope of it and just how many people it's affected, and them everybody coming forward after being, some of them, threatened legally, it's not cool at all, and I very much hope that more people see this. I don't know how many times I need to say this. I don't know if Blair has spies watching my video for some weird reason, which honestly is super weird, first off. But anything that I am stating were all just bits and pieces of each person's individual threads. I would very much love for there to be something along the lines of what Sad Milk was today, even though I feel like that original group might not ever form up again. But if any of the members of Sad Milk happen to be watching the video, I would love to at least try something. If you want to, my DMs are always open for you guys. So, to The Click, One Topic, Wonder, and Oz, I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope things get better for you. At the time I'm recording this, Blair has not come forward with any information, and like I've already stated, I think multiple times by now, she is just ignoring everything on Twitter and is very much just still releasing her videos on schedule. If new information arises, then things will change, but as things are right now, that is where I'm coming from. At this point, it's going to come back to my general outro and everything, so thank you guys for listening this far. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.